Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 57 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Expert Mode FTB Skies, where today, I think I actually want you a little bit higher and you can have a straw. I ran into a problem. Remember last episode I wrapped up and said if I run into a problem that's an easy fix, I would do it off camera, and if it's a problem that involves some effort, I would do it on camera. So I ran into a problem that's an easy fix, and I solved it off camera. I was out of dimensional shard from RF Tools. So I added crushed end stone to my automation system here so that we can build up a nice supply of dimensional shards. Easy peasy. Did that off camera. Then moved on. As I was moving on, I was running into power problems. Well, close. So we are like ever so barely running out of force infused diesel. We are burning through it a little bit too fast. So I have an idea. Maybe we move over to Flux infused diesel. So I started looking into doing that, right? So Flux infused diesel, there's two options we could go with. Option one is force infused diesel, 2 buckets, plus a Flux infused gem equals 2 buckets of Flux infused diesel. That's an option. Option two would be to get crude oil, 2 buckets, plus a Flux infused gem, gets 2 buckets of Flux infused oil. And then that can be refineried. 100, so 30% would be this, 30% would be that, and then 20 and 20. So effectively, there's 2 things we could do here, right? We could, if we wanted to be more conservative on flux infused gems, we should upgrade our flux infused, our force infused oil, right? Because then it's 1 gem equals 2 buckets of oil. This is going to be 1 gem equals like 0.6 buckets of oil, right? Because it's going to be 2/3 and or 1/3, right? 1/3, and we have 2 buckets per gem, right? But we only get 1/3 of that, so we'll get 2/3 of a bucket, and then 2/3 of a bucket of benzene, and then a little bit of these guys. Now let's talk about which one's a good idea to go with or not. So for conservative flux infused gem use, we should very much just infuse this guy, right? And I think that might be the route that I decide to take. That said, for now, because the other option gets me this stuff, right? Which gives me benzene, ethylene, and carbon dioxide. Now, ethylene we don't have to worry about because we're good on ethylene, right? Like we know how to make it, we have tons of it, it's all good. Option 2 or 4 here, I guess, would be liquid carbon dioxide, which we can either put into a bucket or we can turn into a gas or a liquid, I guess, whatever. And then the gas plus liquid ethane can turn glowstone into redstone for some reason that I have not yet come up with. So, my opinion, don't care about this, don't care about this. Now, this guy we actually do a little bit care about. So liquid benzene can decondentrate into benzene gas, which can be combined with flux-infused diesel to make the next tier of diesel, which is nitro gas. And that's basically going to be like a more powerful form of flux-infused diesel. However, in order to do this, we're going to need some cryothium, which needs cryofuel, which, as we know, requires glacial. So here's what I'm thinking. We start by being conservative with these guys, right? And the reason I want to do that is because they're not particularly cheap to make. The main thing being this one. I would love to get some popped chorus fruit so we can get away from having to make proto-chorus, which is like a whole thing, right? And if we could get popped chorus fruit, it makes this whole process a lot easier. And then with the whole lot easier process, we can get a lot easier flux-infused gems. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's migrate this whole setup. So what I'm going to do is probably... So you're going to instead... What I'm going to do is break you... and then break you, and you, and you. Oh, I can't do it with you. You. Okay. And then you're going to go here And you're going to be... Whoop. Where did you go, even? How did you go into there? Oh, I see what's happening. Yes. How are you even working? I don't even know. So you were doing... Okay, that's right. You were going that way. Right. So what I should do is instead do that, right? So now, when you need to run, you'll fuel yourself kind of deal. That's how I had you set up, I think. You were kind of like self-fueling a little bit-ish. And because you're not wasting heat, you're kind of okay with that. And then everything's good, right? And then you guys fill up. Right, okay, perfect. And then you're going to ender tank. Yes. To here, right? So now you're going to start filling up with Flux Infused Diesel. And then we're going to use you with an advanced mixer. Force Infused, yeah. And then I'm going to plan for future case, what I'm going to eventually do is you will eventually we will put the mixer that I'm about to put here over here to do oil, and then oil will pipe into here, and then we'll do that line once we go to LaserIO. Does that sound like a plan? I think so. I think that works. I think in my mind that makes sense. So hopefully you guys like it too. So now all we're going to need to do is get an advanced mixer here. And you should not connect at all. Instead, I'm going to get a new ender tank. What don't we have for ender tanks? Drenched steel ingot. Do you not know how to make those? I thought we were cool on that. Water's the first one, right? Yep. Okay, now an ender tank. And as you can see, I've been doing the calorite space plating. Also, something I did between episodes, I calculated I needed, what, like 156-ish buckets of the void stuff. So what I did is I made this liquid elemental void container. It holds 128 buckets worth, and I'm just export busing. Okay. And then crafting. So on demand, like we're automatically, like continuously crafting it. Because this is actually a really slow craft. It takes like 10 seconds to make 100 millibuckets. So having it run constantly until we fill up that tank will get me 80 to 90% of the way there. And I felt like that was a cool idea. So just wanted to share that with you. Okay. So now Ender Tank is cooking along. We're just waiting on some magically inclined steel to do his job. There we go. And then you made that, and then you made that, and now you're making those in the thing, and that's cool. Okay. So now your job will be to dump into here. And how are we for channels over on this line? Again, channels is rough over here, but I think we can make it work. So you're at 30 of 32, and the other one is at 29 out of 32. And we should be cool on this line is we have 6, and this is what feeds all the way over to here. So what I'll do is I'll set up a little export bus here with some cabling. I don't think I need you no mores, but I can do you. And we're going to want a crafting card. And you're going to export Flux Infused gems. Cool. Hooray! Feels like a waste to have 3 stacks sitting in there, though, doesn't it? It kind of does. So, new plan. Interface. And LaserIO. Okay. So now you're going to sit there. You're going to do Flux Infused Gem. How about you keep 10 in stock for me at all times? Okay. And then you, on the down, well, on the opposite side of this, which is south. I like the 1.20 feature that I added where like you see what blocks are there. I miss it in 1.19. I really do. No backporting. And then you keep 10 in stock at all times. And on the down, you're just going to extract. Boom. And now once he hits 10, we're done. Deal? Cool, right? Okay. And now you need some power. Okay. And then you're going to just do that. Okay. And then we're going to get ender tanks. And you're going to be I guess I could use these. Red, white, red. I'm going to assume that I haven't used that color scheme yet, right? And now you're Flux Infused Diesel. And that's kind of cool. Now over here, we're going to stop with the Flux Infused Diesel, right? We're actually going to insert you guys, and we're going to break you. And instead, we're going to do red, white, red here. And we're going to see how many of these we can get away with using, right? So we're gonna use up all our well, actually, I can probably scoop it, right? So let's get a tank. Do you not have liquid? What? Well, look at you being a stinker. Tire, please. Alright, so now you're all empty, which means none of you have any stuff in you. Okay. You can dump that all in there and turn it all into Flux Infused. Wow, you have 1 millibucket left in there. That is kind of hilarious to me. Why do you have 1 millibucket left in there? I don't know. Oh, I know why. Because that. Okay. Cool. So now you're empty. And now we're ready to go with Flux Infused. And what I'm going to do is break 1, 2, 3 of these and see if that's more efficient. Right? Because we should get more rotational stress out of this. Okay? So now you're full. I'm going to do that. And what's our stress level looking like? %154%. But if I throw another one in here, we're at 102%. That's good enough for me to do this. You ready? What I'm going to do? There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to say here is that is going to use far less diesel than not. Okay. So you're going to keep that up. You're going to do your job, and everybody's going to be cool. Does that sound like a good deal? So you're going to keep making forced diesel, but we're using it far less now, right? We're using it far, far less now. We're using about 60% as much, right? Because this guy in here uses 8 millibuckets per operation, right? But when it was force infused, it was also 8 millibuckets. So what before was 40 millibuckets is now 24 millibuckets per operation here. So significantly less at the cost of having to keep up with flux-infused gems. Now, if we get stuck and don't have any more of those flux-infused gems, we might be a little bit of a problem, but I'm thinking we'll be okay. I'm thinking we'll be okay. Now, as for you guys, okay, you're all good. Now, let's real quick take a look at... Yeah, that seems cool. Now, if we had... Source link, does this thing have a better version? So, Force-infused diesel is 6400. Force-infused biodiesel is 6400. Biodiesel is 32. So if I use the Force-infused version of this, he will generate more source, if I need him to. And we're using less diesel now, so that might be an option for us. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But yes, the hope is that everybody stays groovy now, and we're producing enough. We're just going to have to keep an eye on this thing and see if we actually are net gaining on diesel. So that's the plan. And this is Dyer just trying really hard not to make a nuclear reactor. We're going to have to see if I can pull that off. Meanwhile, what are you up to? Are you, like, stuck on something? Or... Isnium dust is scheduled. Oh. And I assume there's your problem. Right. There's your Isnium dust. It was going to worm its way in there one way or another. Yes. Now all this backlog of things it had to make are clearing through. So everything was gummed up on account of the fact that I was using this to make resonant ether. I might decide to make a dedicated fabrication matrix just for liquid elemental void. Now talk to me about liquid elemental void, because do we need it for other stuff? So we definitely need a bunch for this, but what else can we use it for? We're going to want raw void shards, which apparently don't do anything, so no we don't. We're going to want to use it for uranium crystals eventually for the microfusion extrapolator. So yes, we will need this to get uranium crystals, because like that's the cheaper version than this. I don't see them all that much cheaper. I guess it's cheaper. Ish. We can also use it here to make perfect gem catalysts. It's also part of this stuff, and then melodium dust. So yeah, we're going to want liquid elemental void in the future. So maybe we make a new fabrication matrix that's going to be dedicated to liquid elemental void. How do we feel about that? Now, speaking of liquid elemental void, why can't I have any more? Because we are out of liquefied source. Yeah, speaking of, my biodiesel has not been keeping up with my demands, which is kind of why I started this process, because I was looking to say, like, hey, maybe I can use force-infused diesel rather than biodiesel, and quickly determined that would not work because of aforementioned running out of diesel stuff. But, I mean, look at this. We already have, like, some diesel building up here, so that's kind of cool. I feel like we're in a good place here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna... We're good. I think we're good. I think we're gonna back stuff. It'll just take a little while, but we'll get there. So once this back stuffs, then we'll be in a good place. Now, the other thing I could obviously do is make another refinery controller for more diesel, and I might do that only because that seems like a smart idea. And then what we'll do, we'll do this temporarily. I like this plan. Everybody freeze for a sec. We will temporarily do this. And then eventually we'll switch this over to cryothium. Does that sound cool? I think that sounds cool. I think it does. So let's LaserIO this, because that's going to be a lot easier than the pipes that I have going on. So can I have some more LaserIOs, please? Thanks, Chief. So here's what we're going to do. From Pneumaticraft, we're going to probably need some more thermal lagging. Okay. And then we're going to have LaserIOs extracting from here. We don't need thermal lagging here, but we do want some pipes. Okay. You're going to want to also have some of this. And you're going to get an insert with a counting filter. And you're going to be a high priority, and you're going to be diesel. Just regular old diesel bucket. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that should be 100 millibuckets of diesel kept in stock. Cool. And my laser nodes are done. So you're going to go here, here. And then your south face is going to insert light blue. And then your south face is going to insert orange. Okay. You're going to be channel orange. You're going to extract on orange. And you're going to extract on light blue. Cool. And then we can connect everybody up and make everybody friends with each other. Cool. Now all you need is a little bit of heat to kick you off, which shouldn't be a problem in theory. And you've got your straw already, so let's just snag a little bit of biofuel to get you cooking. So you're going to consume that. Now you're going to start heating, and you've got some poorly insulated blocks that we're going to have to deal with. And now you're groovy, right? And then once you've, and now all your dieseling and kerosene should be doing exactly what we would want it to do. Cool, right? Cool. Okay. And then you're good, you're good, you're good. Now the only thing we need to keep an eye on is that enough oil production, right? So I'm going to want to keep an eye on this crude oil. If it gets up towards 16, we're good. If it gets down towards 7 or 8, we're bad. And I have to go throw some speed upgrades up in my space station. Not the end of the world if we need to do that, though. And 100% worth. Okay. Now you're going to consume that last 500 here. Let's just tick accelerate that just to prove out that this is going to work. A little bit of a waste, but meh. Right? And then once it consumes all the biodiesel, we should see some diesel go in there and keep 100 millibuckets. Deal? And now it should be prioritizing diesel going in. See? And now any excess diesel will go straight into... That's cool, right? I like that. Proud of LaserIO. Proud of it. Worked hard on that mod. Okay. So, feeling pretty good. So now we have a net gain on that. We have a net gain on that. And then you should absolutely be building up Flux infused diesel. And what I can say then, happily, is that soon we'll have like a nice overflow. And that'll be good. Now, if I really wanted to make that happen faster... Yes? Now we're going to burn through our crude oil. So that kind of like negated the do we make enough crude oil test. But we'll find out soon because we're gonna quickly keep an eye on like how much crude oil is coming in here and whether or not that becomes a problem. But at the very least, we just made ourselves a much nicer buffer of flux infused diesel and force infused diesel. I like it. I hope you do guys. I hope you guys like it too. So definitely net lossing there. We're not net lossing there, but we're gonna have to wait until we back stuff to find out if there's a net loss. Right? So yeah, let's let this cook for a few minutes. How are you, by the way? Are you getting there? You're getting there. You're getting there, all right. And then we're going to want to set up another one of you, right? So you're a fabrication matrix. So what's involved in making you? Some stuff, mostly that I have, some that I don't. We're going to need one of these. And do you know how to make overcharged electrum? Nope. Time to learn. So you're going to make overcharged electrum, and then electrum sheets. And then we need more patterns. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to do that. Whoops, that is not correct. You're the one back here, right? Yep, there you are. Okay. So that should be cool. And then we should see this thing making my electrum for me. As soon as... There it is. Yay! I do like that. And then on the south side, I think we filtered... So then now you're cool. And hopefully overcharged electrum has the correct value on it, but we'll find out. I guess it did. Nice. Where's my centrifuge? Should I just put it like right next to it? Is that like a horrible idea? Maybe. We'll find out. So you're gonna need what? There's like a thing to visualize the thing. That's the list I'm looking for. So 16 steel pillars. And that makes 2 at a time? Okay. So we're going to want 2 steel plates. Let's put away some stuff we don't need at the moment. Don't need you. Don't need you guys. You can go in my backpack. For some reason, you guys just don't want to stack. What do you cobble? Oh, you're cobbled andesite. That's why that's not stacking. Cobblestone. How long has that been that way? Who knows, Dyer? Why are you not in your slot? Go in your slot, Bobble. Do you have a dedicated? Yeah, you go. Don't you? No, it's a deep learner. Thought he had a slot dedicated to him. Anyway, he can go in there. That's fine. And then export bus go away. Thermal line can go away. That's much cleaner. So you, and then one more, please. There we go. And that'll be steel pillars. And then in addition to that, I need 8 fluid tanks. Easy peasy. And I need an energizer. Also easy peasy. And then I need vibrant quartz glass. And vibrant quartz glass is 2 glowstone around a quartz glass. I need 7 of those. One, two, three, 4. Come on, quartz glass, let's go. 7. And then I need a mechanical mixer. Sweet. Okay. So it looks like these guys go. It looks like the mixer goes there. Where's the energizer go? Did I make the wrong energizer? I don't think so. Well, we'll find out. Oh, you know what? That might be there. Is that the energizer? Maybe? Doesn't look like it. Where does this thing go? Fabrication matrix. I feel like I got the wrong thing, didn't I? Does that all look right? Yes. And then 3 on the front. And then the only thing we really need is whatever that mixer is. Did I get, or energizer? Did I get the wrong energizer? Maybe it's this energizer? Not, oh yeah, no, that's an energizer. Yep. There's your problem. All right, so you need a dash block. And then, yeah, I can probably just trash you, right? I don't think I'll ever need you. Okay, so dash block, lapis. And then overcharged diamond is an infused diamond. And that should be cool. One annoyance with auto crafting, he's really bad at splitting. I don't know if it's because, like, maybe because he's set to do like 8 at a time. Maybe if I sent 1 at a time, it would split properly. See what happens. Yeah, I think that's what it's doing. A little bit of a bummer. Not the end of the world, though. It's fine. It's fine. And then you guys are done. Cool. So now you are going to be very close to making a dash block for me. And then what we're going to want to have is another pattern provider. Or 10. Now how about channels over here? Because that's going to be the real trick. So currently you're doing that, which is 30. So I can fit 1 more. Right? And that line is not terrible. That line's only got a few going to it. So I can very much do that. You're what? How many total? Yeah, I guess I could just do that there. That's fine. And that brings me up to 8 on that line. And that brings me up to 31 on that line. We are getting real close to full, folks. It's going to be rough soon. Okay, and then you can presumably need an entangled block to pull out of. Right? And then you're also going to need power. So Flux ducts, which I should probably teach this thing how to make for me. That's a to-do for between episodes. Okay, so now you've got power. We're going to move this recipe over to here. And then my energizer should be ready by now. Cool. And in theory, that's a valid multi-block. Okay. And then we'll just have to test if Liquid Elemental Void. We can actually just do it right now. What are you missing? If I just wanted like a little bit. We're missing Ostrom dust. How are we for Ostrom? meh, we're gonna have to go mine some more Ostrom. Not a big deal, 100% doable. But let's just assume it's gonna work, and I'll make an entangle block ready to go. Cool. So now he'll be ready to LaserIO this up. So as I recall correctly, you're inserting on the south side. And on the top, you're extracting. Cool. So they're connected. That's a good time. We've got our entangled block. We've got our entangled entangler. Boom, boom. Now you're connected and ready to roll. And as soon as we get some Ostrom dust, we should be cool. All right, for now, let's wrap up. So Dell20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As you can see, we're back stuffing on Force Infused Diesel, which is exactly what I wanted to see. How am I for oil, though? Oil, we're actually building up a back stuff as well. So that tells me that we're definitely producing more oil than we're processing over here, which I'm cool with, because everything's full and back stuffed. So that works for me. For now, Dell20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time. And like I said, I'm going to keep working on this stuff off camera and hopefully have some space travel to do soon. For now, take it easy.